Salutations, respected viewers. I'm George from Ireland. Here I am in Edinburgh. Behind me you can see the Sir Walter Scott monument, which you can go up inside. I've only been up it once. So a memorial to that most renowned novelist and poet, Sir Walter Scott, who wrote the Waverley series of novels, and Waverley Station, which you can't quite see from this angle, is named in honour of that. So the only railway station on earth to be named after a novel. So I'm going to tell you a little about the new town of Edinburgh, because looking across, that is the new town. The old town is that away. I might sort of flash the camera towards it in a minute. So the new town was built from 1766 onwards. The population was growing rapidly because of, I suppose, the agricultural revolution, some medical breakthroughs, drinking tea indeed. Might seem odd, but often the river water was too foul to drink, and by boiling the water and made it cleaner, they're more likely to survive. So they needed to expand, and Sir James Craig, a young architect, age about 25, he won the competition to design the new town, and indeed he designed it such that, no, that's too bright, make it darker, see better this way, such that it's laid out, bits of it is laid out in the shape of a Union flag. Remember, 1707 had been the Act of Union. The Union flag was, of course, a bit different from what it is now, because St. Patrick's Cross was not part of it. You know, the red X shape, the red saltire for Ireland was not part of it at the time. So these are very fine Georgian squares, and it's all laid out very straight, built to a plan, mostly granite, a few crescents, things like that. So that's the new town. And down there is Princes Street Gardens. That was the Norloch, as in the North Lake. It was only drained in the late 18th century to be open as a public garden. And you can see, actually from this angle, I think you can see the roof of Waverley Station. It has this skylight just to let more darkness in. And then you can see that huge hotel there. Obviously it was a railway hotel when people were mostly arriving by a hotel in those days. More construction going on. And what else can you see? Oh, well, from this angle, you can possibly see Calton Hill, that side. Not as far over there as where the hotel is. And there are various monuments there, sort of in faux Greek style. That was the 1 o'clock gun from Edinburgh Castle. Anyway, so Princes Street over there is the main shopping street in Scotland. I don't know which particular prince it's named after. Prince as in of a prince, not Princess Street. The thing is, Americans pronounce princess as princess. So it sounds almost like prince as in prince apostrophe S, belonging to a prince. So anything else I should tell you about the new town? Well, obviously Edinburgh's expanded beyond that. That's to the north towards the Firth of Forth, which is a bay which separates this part of Scotland from Fife. Fife is a large peninsula. So here's a war memorial to the Black Watch Regiment. They officially were called the Royal Highland Regiment, but commonly called the Black Watch. Watch, not as in stopwatch or wristwatch, but they're guarding. So you look out, you watch. Many languages, to watch and to guard are the same word, like guarda in Italian. Okay, so this area is largely closed. There's a little bit of Princes Street Garden because there were so many revellers there at Hogmanay, that's New Year, that it got a bit too muddy, having to rebuild it. So I was just in here, this Bank of Scotland Museum, and that's the headquarters for Lloyd's Banking Group in Scotland. And they have a splendid display there showing £1 million. Unfortunately, it's in cancelled notes, so not much point nicking it. So this was built at the height of the United Kingdom's self-assurance, when it was in the early 19th century. It was completed, the new town, and the British Empire was rising to its apogee. And there's a lot of it's in neoclassical style. Unfortunately, these hoardings mean I can't show you the things that I wish to show you. But there's the National Gallery of Scotland and there are various museums there. Anyway, so it's not as good a vantage point as I was hoping to show you the new town. But I suppose as it's winter, at least the leaves aren't there obscuring the vista. All right, I think some of this is the old town, the medieval part of the city, up and down the Royal Mile on either side. I've filmed before, so I shan't show it to you again. Anyway, that's enough for the moment here on the mound, which is built with earth they dug up from other places. That's where the theology faculty of Edinburgh University, where Thatcher delivered a famous sermon on the mound, speech to the General Assembly of the Church of Scotland, quoting St. Paul, "If you do not work, you shall not eat," didn't go down too well with a very left-wing clergy. Right, I'm switching off now.